The rain was coming down in sheets as I stared out the window of my Seattle condo. I am Torin, 46, and until a few weeks ago I thought I had it all. A beautiful wife, a successful career as a software architect, and a comfortable life. Now all I felt was a gaping hole in my chest, a cold emptiness that threatened to consume me. My wife, Isolde, and I had been married for 15 years. We met in college, and I was instantly drawn to her vibrant personality and infectious laugh. She was an artist, a painter with a unique vision that I admired. Over the years, we built a life together, a life filled with love, laughter, and mutual respect. Or so I thought. The first crack in our perfect facade appeared a few months ago. Isolde started acting differently. She was distant, preoccupied, and often came home late from her art studio. When I asked her about it, she brushed it off, saying she was working on a big project, a new exhibition that was taking up all her time and energy. I wanted to believe her. I trusted her implicitly, but then came the late-night texts. I saw them flashing on her phone one night while she was in the shower. A name I didn't recognize, Gareth. The messages were innocuous enough at first, just casual banter about art and inspiration. But as I scrolled further back, the tone shifted. The messages became more intimate, more suggestive. There were heart emojis, kisses, and late-night confessions of longing. My heart pounded in my chest as I read them, a cold dread creeping into my soul. I felt like I had been punched in the gut, the air knocked out of me. I couldn't breathe. I didn't want to believe what I was seeing, but the evidence was right there, staring me in the face. I confronted Isolde when she got out of the shower. I held her phone out to her, my hands shaking. "Who is Gareth?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She froze, her eyes widening in panic. "I can explain," she stammered, her face turning pale. "Explain what?" "Explain why you're sending love messages to another man," I demanded, my voice rising. She started to cry, tears streaming down her face. "It's not what you think," she sobbed. "He's just a friend, a colleague from the studio. We've been working closely together on this exhibition, and we've just been supporting each other through a difficult time." I wanted to believe her, I desperately wanted to believe her. But the messages I had read painted a different picture, a picture of betrayal and deceit. "Don't lie to me, Isolde," I said, my voice hard. "I read the messages. I know what's going on." She broke down then, confessing everything. Gareth was indeed a colleague from her studio, a fellow artist who had captured her attention. She claimed it started as a harmless flirtation, a way to escape the monotony of our marriage. But it quickly escalated into something more, an emotional affair that consumed her. "I'm so sorry, Torin," she cried, clutching my arm. "I never meant for it to happen. I still love you. Please forgive me." I pulled away from her, my heart aching. "How could you do this to me, Isolde?" I asked, my voice filled with pain. "How could you betray me like this?" She didn't have an answer. All she could do was cry, her sobs echoing in the silent apartment. I spent the next few days in a daze trying to process what had happened. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I just wandered around the apartment like a ghost, haunted by the image of Isolde with another man. I knew I couldn't stay in the marriage. The trust was broken, shattered beyond repair. I couldn't forgive her, not now, maybe not ever. I told her I wanted a divorce, and she didn't argue. She knew she had destroyed everything. I moved out of the condo and into a small apartment downtown. I threw myself into my work, trying to distract myself from the pain, but it was no use. Everywhere I went, everything I did, I was reminded of Isolde and the life we had built together. The life that was now gone. One evening, a few weeks after the separation, I received a call from an unfamiliar number. I hesitated before answering, but curiosity got the better of me. "Hello," I said cautiously. "Torin, it's Gareth," the voice on the other end said. "I need to talk to you." My blood ran cold. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice trembling with anger. "I know this is difficult, but I need to explain some things," he said. "About Isolde, about our relationship." I almost hung up, but something in his voice stopped me. There was a note of desperation, a hint of fear. "Fine," I said, "but make it quick." We met at a coffee shop downtown. Gareth was younger than I expected, maybe in his early 30s. He was handsome with a charming smile, but his eyes held a haunted look. "I know you hate me," he said after we had exchanged awkward greetings. "And I deserve it. I messed up. I hurt you and I hurt Isolde, you think," I said sarcastically. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It wasn't supposed to happen," he said. I was going through a tough time. My own marriage was falling apart and Isolde was just there. She was kind, supportive, and she made me feel alive again. So you decided to have an affair with her, I said, my voice dripping with disdain. It wasn't like that, he protested. It started as an emotional connection, a friendship, but then it grew into something more. I know that's no excuse, but I wanted you to understand. I didn't want to understand. I just wanted to punch him in the face, but I held back, forcing myself to remain calm. What else do you want to tell me? I asked. He hesitated, then took a deep breath. Isolde isn't being entirely honest with you, he said. About the extent of our relationship, about her motivations. What do you mean? I asked, my curiosity piqued. She told me that you two were unhappy for a long time, he said. That you were distant, emotionally unavailable. She said she felt neglected, unloved. I stared at him in disbelief. That's not true, I said. I loved Isolde. I did everything I could to make her happy. I know, he said. I realized that after a while. Isolde has a way of manipulating people, of making them believe what she wants them to believe. She's very good at playing the victim. What are you saying? I asked, my mind racing. I'm saying that Isolde may have used me, he said. She may have used our affair as an excuse to get out of the marriage. She may have had other reasons for wanting to leave you. Like what? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He hesitated again, then leaned in closer. I don't know for sure, he said. But I suspect it has something to do with money, money, I repeated, confused. Isolde has always been obsessed with money, he said. She loves the finer things in life and she's always looking for ways to get more. I wouldn't be surprised if she was planning to take you for everything you're worth in the divorce. I was stunned. I couldn't believe that Isolde, the woman I had loved and trusted for 15 years, was capable of such deceit. But as I thought about it, I realized that it made sense. She had always been materialistic, always wanting more, and she had been increasingly secretive about her finances in recent months. I don't know if it's true, Gareth said, but I thought you should know. I felt guilty about what happened and I wanted to do what I could to make things right. I thanked him for his honesty, then left the coffee shop, my head spinning. I didn't know what to believe. Was Isolde really capable of such cold-hearted manipulation? Was she just using me for my money? I decided to hire a private investigator. I needed to know the truth, no matter how painful it might be. The investigator, a woman named Una, was thorough and professional. She dug deep into Isolde's finances, her activities, her relationships, and what she found was shocking. Gareth was right. Isolde was planning to take me for everything I was worth in the divorce. She had been secretly transferring money out of our joint accounts into a private account in her name. She had also been inflating her expenses, claiming extravagant purchases that she never made. But that wasn't all. Una also discovered that Isolde had been having an affair with another man, a wealthy art collector named Ludo, for several months before she started seeing Gareth. Ludo had been showering her with gifts, expensive jewelry, and promises of a lavish lifestyle. It was all a carefully orchestrated scheme, a web of lies and deceit designed to bleed me dry. Isolde had been playing me for a fool, and I had fallen for it hook, line, and sinker. I was furious, heartbroken, and humiliated. I couldn't believe that I had been so blind, so naive. I had trusted Isolde completely, and she had betrayed me in the worst possible way. I confronted her with the evidence. I showed her the bank statements, the receipts, the photos of her with Ludo. She didn't deny anything. She just sat there, her face expressionless. "I'm sorry, Torin," she said, her voice flat. "I just wanted to be happy. I wanted a better life at my expense," I said, my voice trembling with rage. "You were willing to destroy me for your own selfish desires." She didn't answer. She just shrugged as if it was no big deal. I filed for divorce, and this time I made sure to protect myself. I hired a tough lawyer who specialized in high-asset divorces. We presented the evidence of Isolde's financial misconduct and her affairs to the court, and the judge ruled in my favor. Isolde received a fraction of what she had hoped for. She was forced to sell her art studio and liquidate her assets to pay back the money she had stolen from me. Ludo, the art collector, dumped her as soon as he realized she was broke. In the end, Isolde got nothing. She lost her husband, her lover, her money, and her reputation. She was left with nothing but her own guilt and regret. As for me, I was left with a broken heart and a shattered sense of trust. But I also had something else, a newfound sense of strength and resilience. I had survived the betrayal and I had come out stronger on the other side. It took me a long time to heal. I went to therapy, I spent time with friends and family, and I focused on my work. Slowly but surely, I started to rebuild my life. I never remarried. The experience with Isolde had made me wary of relationships. But I did learn a valuable lesson, that trust is a precious gift and it should be given wisely. Years later, I heard that Isolde was living in a small apartment in the suburbs, working as a waitress. She was a shadow of her former self, a broken and bitter woman. I didn't feel any satisfaction in her downfall. In fact, I felt a pang of sadness. I had once loved her, and it hurt to see her reduced to such a state, but I also knew that she had brought it upon herself. She had made her choices, and she had to live with the consequences. And so I moved on, leaving the past behind me. I focused on the present, on building a new life for myself. A life filled with honesty, integrity, and genuine connection. A life free from betrayal and deceit. This story is about how a seemingly perfect marriage crumbled when I, Torin, discovered my wife Isolde's infidelity. Her affair with a colleague, Gareth, was just the tip of the iceberg, leading to the revelation of financial manipulation and another affair with a wealthy art collector, Ludo. The betrayal was deep, but it ultimately led to a divorce where Isolde's deceit was exposed, and she lost everything. This journey of heartbreak and resilience serves as a reminder of the importance of trust and the strength to rebuild after betrayal. Thank you for listening.